So we march on. The team options. Oh, fuck. First and foremost, Glenn Davis, PJ Tucker, Ronnie Turiaf, Sharif Abdur-Rahim. I'm keeping all four of you. For you guys, here comes an interesting choice. Here comes an interesting choice because you have John Starks Jr. He's up to a B+. He's a keep. Raymond Felton right now, he and Mario Chalmers are pretty much your point guards. So you're probably going to want to keep him. Ilyasova, you're definitely going to want to keep. Warwick, you can drop. You had him all of last year. His potential dropped. Nobody traded for him. I don't think you have any reason to pick him up. And then, I mean, I know he's Australian, but there's really no reason to pick him up for that money. So me personally, I would keep those three. I think you can afford to drop Warwick and Ingles after the Ingles after the draft that you just had. I think you can afford to do that. So yeah, the question is, again, if you're going to save money, first three. I see some people debating Felton, not so much Starks or Ilyasova. Felton, keep, drop. Quick poll regarding Raymond Felton. I mean, again, Warwick is already 26. He's going to cap out at like a 76, 77. He just hasn't gotten the playing time to develop, and you guys weren't able to flip him. Joe is only 20. C potential 71. I mean, Joe is honestly not that bad. He's a 71, 72. He's honestly not that bad, but it's like, do you want to save money? You know? Like, that's the issue with Joe, given that he's 20, but how much better is he going to get? Right now, it looks like Felton's going to be dropped. I saw one person mention Starks. I got a feeling if I put that to a poll, it would be the biggest landslide. So with that, looks like we're locked in. Starks and Ilyasova will be retained. You guys are going to drop Raymond Felton, Hakeem Warwick, and Joe Ingles. Controversial decision to drop Raymond Felton, but that is, that's the deal. That's the deal. Lock it in. Pau Gasol. Tony Parker, Tyson Chandler, Richard Jefferson, the big names hitting the market this year. For qualifying offers, you guys have Gortat. I'm going to try to hold on to Toscano and Gordon Livingston as well. Johnny Sloan was a nothing. Yeah, you got to qualify Gortat, because otherwise you don't really have a depth center. But Camby is gone. Not like the way you pronounce it. Gortat. Gortat. That better? Main it up for you. So, Dirk and Vince Carter are both free agents. So is Jason Kidd again. For the record, point guard, Tony Parker, Jason Kidd, Baron Davis. It makes no sense for you guys to really sign anybody. With the exception of, yeah, putting out the offer for Bosch. But, I mean, you got Powell and Chalmers. You got Starks and Gordon, Green, Ilyasova, Ibaka, Horford, McGee. I mean, definitely your biggest deal is for Bosch. And, again, you can offer him more than anything. So, yeah, you guys got fucked. He should have been signed to a 5-year deal last year. But, no doubt, I mean, your top option should be to retain Chris Bosh, because you can sign him more than anybody, you know, you can sign him to more than anybody else. So, and are there other offers out for Bosh? Right now, there aren't. So, I mean, if you wanted, you could try to save a little bit of money, but what's the point? You might as well just give him the max offer. You might as well. So, that'll be your big offer. It's out for Bosh. I mean, there's no point in undercutting him. You barely save anything. Max deal out for Bosch to try and hold on to him. You could pay him even more. Oh, no, you can't. There you go. It's the max offer you can send out. Done deal for Chris Bosch, and we'll see if he sticks around. If he doesn't, you guys got screwed by an offer sheet. For me, I don't even know if I'll have the money to sign anybody, but again, Tony Parker, Jason Kidd, Baron Davis. Actually, really quickly, the RFAs that are out there, are any of them ours? I guess we can sort that out afterwards, actually. So, shooting guard-wise, again, or point guard-wise, Parker, Kidd, could go for someone there. Shooting guard-wise, Vince is out there. I'm kind of scared of him after what happened with you guys. Hamilton, Iguodala's an RFA. Jefferson, my boy Wally Zerbiak. Shane Battier, former member of the Magic in this run. Dirk. Shitload of offers out there for Dirk. I mean, you don't win unless you play the game, but could try to bring back Zach Randolph. And then center, Pau Gasol. So I got Livingston and Dragic. I do have to try to bring back Livingston. Alan Barbosa, Butler Tucker, Abdur-Rahim, Davis, Turiaf. Geiger will be back, and Robin Lopez. It's a tough decision for me in terms of who to target. Because I do like Sean Livingston as an RFA. But if I can upgrade him with the Tony Parker, I should. Vince wouldn't fit because I have Ray Allen. Jefferson would be an upgrade on who I have. Zerbiak was a hell of a shooter. But I mean, again, it's not like Caron Butler's brutal. It would either be a forward, which would probably be Zerbiak because of the lack of competition. Someone asked about Trevor Ariza, by the way, in terms of his potential. The answer is a B- at this point. So really, right now, it's Zerbiak. Probably Tyson Chandler instead of fighting for Pau Gasol. Ooh, Marcus Camby. Chandler, Zerbiak, or a Baron Davis. Two teams in for Tony Parker. Only the Bulls in for Jason Kidd. Well, that ruins the discussion. I can't even sign anybody anyway. Same situation. I can't sign anybody anyway. So I'm going to hold off for this week. Let's see what happens with you guys first and foremost. Okay. So Wood, Howell, Gortat, you should probably hold on to. Wallace, you could hold on to. Ingles for the moment. Warwick could be a cap hold. Felton. I know you guys want to renounce the rights of Marcus Camby. So for you guys, sign Chris Bosch. Are you sure you don't want a cap hold on Marcus Camby? And honestly, the fact that you can sign Bosch. Well, if you guys do elect to get rid of the dudes that you were looking to get rid of, like, do you even need Gortat and Wallace at this point? Wallace would still be a good backup for Jeff Green. You don't need Gortat anymore because you have JaVale McGee. So honestly, the question would be, how much money do you have? But Bosch was technically your free agent signing, even though he shouldn't have been. So, I mean, honestly, like I said, the funny thing is, though, you could just cap hold these dudes and still sign Bosch and be okay. You know? But the reason to not bring in a Camby is because you don't want him to pass up the secondary option. Same with Warwick. Same with Ingles. But yeah, honestly, Gerald Wallace, based off of what you guys told me, is pretty much the only guy worth keeping. It's pretty much the only guy worth trying to keep. I mean, unless, you know, yeah, I mean, Joe at $5 million, even if it's a 1-year deal. What do you think? Let me know if you want me to change that. But the big thing is sign Bosch and pretty much only hold on to Gerald Wallace. For me, let go of McCoy, can recognize Sloan, Bork. I'll keep Toscano. Keep Gordon. Cap hold Livingston. Let Sloan go. All right, we locking that in? Looks like it. Looks like it. I don't have the money to sign a big name. I don't. So the only thing I can really do is just try to re-sign Sean Livingston, who's my guy anyway, the RFA option. So that is exactly what I'll do. Send out a deal to Sean Livingston, who accepted. Cap hold Gordon and Toscano for you guys. You could also send an offer out to Gerald Wallace, or you could wait it out. We can double check what that price would be. The other two guys I'm not so worried about. But if we were to look at you guys and look at Mr. Gerald Wallace, that's not terrible money for a second choice forward behind Green. So, I mean, if you want to make sure you still have a good backup in that position, you could send this type of deal over to Wallace. Honestly, get the term on him just to be able to flip him at some point. But you throw out an offer on Ariza? No. Actually, technically, Wallace is a UFA. Technically, Wallace was a UFA. So you might just have to wait it out, unless we extend the thing to, like, bird years, which we could. If it's bird years eligible. I mean, honestly, you could do a 3-year deal with a team option or a 2-year deal with a team option. Honestly, I mean, yeah, 1-year deal with a team option. Just to have him as a really solid backup for the year. Any disagreements to that? Keeping Gerald Wallace around as a depth option at forward? Because you guys honestly might start pushing for the playoffs this year. That is a distinct possibility. Seeing no objections at the moment. In 5, 4, 3, 2. There you go. Offers out to Gerald Wallace. For me, I can't afford a fucking thing. Except just some random depth. Not making the playoffs. Have you seen your roster lately? So Livingston and Dragic, Allen, Barbosa. Honestly, my depth is pretty much set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Really quickly. I could sign like a Jarrett Jack randomly. Mo Williams. Yeah, I could just sign a rando dude to be my one guy. I could save Antoine Walker from obscurity. I want that little bit of extra help at center, I guess, since I can afford somebody here. Bring in Scott Pollard. Honestly, for the hell of it. Yeah, they kind of screwed Jarrett Jack. I mean, he wasn't amazing. He was decent. Honestly, could just sign Speedy for the hell of it, but I don't want to take time away from Dragic, so I guess I'm good. So Sean Livingston, not going to match that deal. Like, I just want to sign my deal and cap hold the other two. And for you guys, agree to terms with Bosch and Wallace and drop all the other dead weight. All right, that was the decision. So Dirk's back out there. Pow's back out there. Yeah, I got no fucking money. Neither of us do. All right. Well, let's see what the hell these teams look like. But the Marcus Camby saga in Orlando is finally over. Dreams do come true for some members of chat. 2 RFAs signed. Player progression. Butler got worse. Geiger got worse. And there was not much improvement. Davis and Gordon got a little bit better. For you guys, Stark's up to an 86. Horford's an 80. And Powell got a little bit worse. Wallace got a little bit better. I don't know, man. With Bosch and Starks, you could be sneaky. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You guys could be sneaky good this year. The 2009 draft class. This is frigging absurd. All right. So, really quickly then, as we do... future draft picks. Again, you guys have 2 first-rounders this year. Both yours and Atlanta's. And I have the Clippers. And I have the Clippers. This is the Blake Griffin, Steph Curry, James Harden, and company drafts. Ricky Rubio. The Hawks look like roster-wise. We'll take a look around the league. Maybe not. We saw where some of the big names went, at least. Hawks rocking Joe Scott, Jamal Mashburn, OJ Dantley. They're okay. They're not amazing. They're not amazing. Dirk goes to the Hornets. Dirk to the Hornets. Pau Gasol with the Wizards. Tony Parker with the Celtics. Vince Carter signs with the Raptors. It's perfect. Vince goes back up north. Tyson Chandler with the Wizards. Richard Jefferson with the Jazz. Randolph with the Grizz. Jason Kidd and Baron Davis both end up in Chicago. Zerbiak with the Jazz. LeBron and Vince. So really quickly then, to take a look at our rosters before we get to simming here for the Timberwolves. Honestly, I think I can run 10. Hey, I got a new coach. He's not as bad as the other guy. He's still shit. But I finally have a new coach. So yeah, the Gordon, Toscano, or Dragic. Honestly, I mean, I need to prioritize Dragic. So we're going to send Dragic down to the G League to develop. Wasn't that the Knicks coach when they went 5-7? That was the Knicks coach, was it? Well, if it was, he's got a lot to prove. Let's see. Front office. My staff. Coaching. Chad Blake. Yep, this was him, wasn't it? Fun. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. Can only go up from 5-77. Don't challenge him. So yeah, I can't do much for Gordon or Toscano unless I run 13 people. Which I could. Well, if I call Dragic back up, drop Gordon down. I might honestly debate running 13 players this year. and just dropping the bench utilization all the way down. Because we should still be able to make the playoffs. But this way, certain people get some playing time. I'm going to start it off like that, and if I notice my record's in the fucking mud, I'll switch it up. For you guys, honestly, running 11. Running 11's a good way to go. Unless you wanted to put somebody in the G League to run 10. Like Chalmers is the backup, Gordon's the backup, Wallace is the backup. You could put Ibaka, but he's a 76 for God's sakes. Like that would pretty much be the only guy is Ibaka. You know? And there was no reason for you guys to run 13. It makes sense for you to run 11. As you also have a new head coach. It does make sense for you guys to also run 11. And then you can debate the minutes, but at least that way all of your dudes are at least getting some playing time because you have so many damn young players. You know? So. And honestly, the sooner you put Powell on the block and trade him out, and Gerald Wallace for that matter, if it'll let you, because it plays him over Green. But yeah, I mean, there's a choice in terms of bench utilization if you wanted to up it or lower it. But, you know, getting people that extra bit of playing time is not a terrible thing. But yeah, you could run something like that. Let me know if you want me to change it. For the moment, though, the trade block. Again, there's a pretty obvious one for you guys. It's get rid of Ed Powell and let Super Nintendo take off as the main option. Get something for the veteran while you can. Starks and Gordon's fine. Again, keeping Wallace as a secondary option alongside Jeff Green. That's a good 1-2 punch. You could look at flipping Serge Ibaka if you wanted to, because he only has C+ potential. You could also tank it with the bench usage if you wanted to, yeah. I'm telling you, though, I really don't think you guys are going to be that bad. Starks is back up to an A-. Alright, so Powell's pretty much the only guy you're trying to move. I'm seeing some shouts for max bench utilization, so let's just bump it up. At least you don't want to fucking play the other rando scrubs. At least have it be your dudes. Like, you don't need Glover and Livingston or Strickland to play, but there you go. All your dudes, at least, that are playing, spreading the minutes around as much as possible. Should be good to go. So, we hired the coach with the worst season of all time. Fuck me. I don't even know what to do right now, aside from say that we're open for business in terms of trading some other dudes to try and get this team over the damn hump. Please. Because I pretty much know if we're not in a playoff spot by the time the deadline comes around, there's a certain thing hovering overhead right now in Minnesota. Like, this is it. Like, this is the year where we have to prove, like, okay, we can do this, or it's just, it's